I built my son a house with my own 2 hands. Took me 14 months. Every beam, every nail, every tile. When I handed him the keys, he laughed and called it a teardown shack. 3 months later, I sold that house for $1.2 million to a developer who recognized craftsmanship when he saw it. When my son found out, he threatened to sue me. But that was only the beginning. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and write in the comments what time it is, where you are now. The morning I finished the porch railing, fog hung low over the Smoky Mountains. Tennessee in October, my kind of weather. I stepped back, wiped sawdust from my hands, and looked at what I'd created. 2,200 square feet of handcrafted timber frame construction. Oak beams I'd sourced from a sawmill in Sevierville. Stone foundation laid by hand. A fireplace built from river rocks I'd collected myself over 6 summers. My son's dream home. That's what I'd told myself for 14 months. I'm Raymond Bassett, 68 years old, retired general contractor, 43 years in the business before I hung up my tool belt. Built everything from strip malls to custom estates. My hands know wood the way a surgeon's know flesh. My wife Eleanor passed 4 years ago. Cancer, quick and cruel. After that, I needed something to fill the silence, something meaningful. My son Kyle had been renting apartments since his 20s. Him and his wife Brittany, bouncing from one overpriced shoebox to another. 2 kids now, Maddox, 7, Presley, 5. My grandchildren deserved a real home, a yard, a treehouse. So I bought 3 acres outside Knoxville. Cheap land, steep slope. Everyone said it was unbuildable. I saw potential. 14 months, every morning at 6, every evening until dark. Some nights I slept in my truck because driving home seemed wasteful. I was building a legacy. The house faced east. Morning sun through the kitchen windows. I'd installed those windows myself. Triple pane, energy efficient. Cost me $4,200. Worth every penny. I texted Kyle. It's ready. Come see. He replied 3 hours later. Busy this week. Maybe Sunday. Maybe Sunday. I stood on the porch I'd built, looking at the mountains I'd framed perfectly in the living room windows, and felt something cold settle in my chest. Sunday came. Kyle's Tesla pulled up the gravel driveway I'd laid by hand. Brittany stepped out first. Designer sunglasses. Yoga pants that cost more than my monthly grocery bill. She looked at the house like she was examining a crime scene. Kyle followed. My son, 41 years old, software something at a company with a name I couldn't pronounce. Made good money. Spent better money. Dad, he hugged me. Brief, distracted. So this is it. This is it. I couldn't help smiling. Come inside. The front door was reclaimed chestnut. 1,890 seconds barn door. From a property in Maryville. I'd restored it myself. Sanded, stained, fitted with hand-forged iron hardware from a blacksmith in Gatlinburg. Kyle walked past it without looking. Inside, the great room opened up. Vaulted ceilings, exposed beams. The stone fireplace dominated the far wall. I'd spent 3 weeks on that fireplace alone. Brittany wrinkled her nose. It's very rustic. Timber frame construction. I ran my hand along a beam. These oak beams are hand-hewn. The joinery is traditional mortise and tenon, no metal fasteners in the frame. Kyle looked at his phone. Uh-huh. The kitchen. I guided them forward. Custom cabinets, dovetail joints, soft close hinges, quartz countertops, professional-grade appliances. Brittany opened a cabinet, closed it. Where's the island? I had one designed. Butcher block top, storage underneath. She cut me off. I meant a real island, like a waterfall edge. Marble. I stared at her. I built you custom cabinetry, hand-fitted. Those dovetail joints took me 40 hours. She was already walking away. The floors are dark. White oak, wide plank, finished with natural oil, not polyurethane. Better for the wood, healthier for the kids. Kyle finally looked up from his phone. Dad, can we talk outside? We stood on the porch, the same porch I'd imagined him sitting on with coffee, watching his children play in the yard I'd cleared. Look, Kyle rubbed his neck. I appreciate what you did here. I do. But it's not really our style. Your style? Brittany and I talked. We were thinking something more modern. Open concept. Floor-to-ceiling windows. Maybe in a development with amenities. I built this for you. I know, Dad. And it's sweet. Really. He said sweet like you'd describe a child's crayon drawing. But we can't live here. It's too far from my office. The schools aren't great. And honestly, he lowered his voice. Brittany says it feels like a cabin. Like a rental. A rental. You know what I mean. Vacation vibes. Not forever home vibes. I built this house with my hands. Every piece of it. 14 months. And we're grateful. But we talked to a realtor. She thinks we could get maybe $300,000 for it. Use that as a down payment on something in West Knoxville. Newer. More updated. $300,000. I almost laughed. Almost. Dad, don't be upset. It's just a house. Just a house. Brittany appeared in the doorway. Babe, we need to go. I have hot yoga at 4. Kyle nodded, already walking toward his Tesla. Think about it, Dad. The realtor said she could list it next month if we move fast. Market's cooling. They drove away, gravel crunching. Then silence. I stood there until the sun started setting. Orange light hit the windows I'd installed. The house glowed like it was alive. Vacation vibes, tear-down shack, just a house. I pulled out my phone. Scrolled through my contacts. Stopped at a name I hadn't called in 3 years. Marcus Whitfield, commercial developer. We'd worked together in the 90s. He'd made a fortune buying undervalued properties in East Tennessee. He answered on the second ring. Raymond Bassett. Been a while. Marcus, I need your opinion on something. You still interested in Smoky Mountain properties? Silence. Then, always. What do you have? I told him about the house, the land, the craftsmanship. He asked one question. Traditional timber frame? Hand-hewn beams? Every one. I'll be there tomorrow. Marcus arrived at 7 in the morning. Same energy I remembered. Sharp eyes, quick decisions. He walked through the house slowly, touched the beams, examined the joinery, spent 20 minutes at the fireplace. Raymond, he said finally, this is exceptional work. Thank you. The high-end market is desperate for authentic craftsmanship, not manufactured rustic, real craftsmanship. This house is worth significantly more than $300,000. How much more? He studied the view. The mountains framed perfectly. The morning light. Listed at $1.1 million. I'll personally connect you with buyers who understand what they're looking at. My son wanted to sell it as a teardown. Marcus shook his head. Your son is an idiot. No offense. None taken. The listing went live on November 3rd. Marcus handled everything. Professional photography, drone footage. Feature in a regional luxury real estate magazine. I didn't tell Kyle. 2 weeks later, Marcus called. We have an offer. $1.15 million. Cash. 30-day close. I sat in my truck, parked at the overlook where I'd first sketched plans for the house. The mountains were gray with early winter. Accept it. The buyer was a retired surgeon from Atlanta. He'd built a timber frame home in Vermont decades ago. He recognized the work immediately. This is a masterpiece, he told me at the closing. Your son is lucky to have a father like you. I didn't correct him. The wire transfer hit my account on December 4th. $1,150,000. Minus fees and taxes, just over $900,000 in my pocket. That evening, I made dinner. Pot roast. Eleanor's recipe. Ate alone at the kitchen table we'd bought together 39 years ago. My phone sat silent. Kyle hadn't called since that Sunday. Neither had I. The news found him eventually. Small town. Word travels. My phone rang at 6:47 a.m. on December 8th. Kyle. Dad! His voice was tight. I just heard something crazy. Tell me it's not true. What did you hear? That you sold the house. The one you built. I did. Silence. For how much? $1.15 million. The silence stretched longer this time. That's impossible. Apparently not. You sold our house for over $1 million? Your house? I set down my coffee. You called it a tear-down shack. Brittany said it had vacation vibes. You wanted to list it for $300,000 and buy a McMansion in West Knoxville. Dad, we didn't mean... You meant every word. I heard you. Both of you. His breathing changed. Faster. Angry. That money should be ours. You built it for us. I built it as a gift. You rejected the gift. I sold my own property. We'll sue you. I almost laughed. Actually did laugh. For what? I own the land. I built the house. I never transferred title. It was always my property, to do with as I pleased. This is insane. You owe us that money. I owe you nothing. He hung up. I finished my pot roast. It was delicious. 3 days later, a letter arrived. Law office in Knoxville. Kyle had actually hired an attorney. The letter demanded I surrender 70% of the sale proceeds. It cited promissory estoppel and detrimental reliance. Kyle claimed he had turned down other housing opportunities because of my promise to give him the house. I called Sid Howard, my attorney for 20 years. Raymond, he said after reading the letter, this is nonsense. I know. He has no case. You never transferred title, no written agreement, no contract. The house was always yours. Can he make my life difficult? He can waste his money trying. And yours, if you let him. I won't let him. Sid filed our response. 14 pages. Detailed timeline. Documentation of every material I'd purchased. Every permit I'd pulled. Every hour I'd logged. Kyle's attorney went quiet. But Kyle didn't. December 18th. Family Christmas dinner at my brother's house. Norman and his wife Patricia. Their kids. Their grandkids. Kyle was supposed to come. He did. With Brittany. And the children. The moment I walked in, the temperature changed. Kyle stood by the fireplace, arms crossed. Brittany whispered something to Patricia. Patricia looked at me with concern. Raymond. Norman approached carefully. Maybe we should talk. About what? Kyle says you stole his house. I stole nothing. I built a house on my own land with my own hands. My son rejected it. I sold it. But you built it for him. I built it as a gift. He refused the gift, called it a shack. Norman looked uncomfortable. Family shouldn't fight over money. Tell that to Kyle. Dinner was tense. Maddox and Presley sat between their parents, confused. Brittany wouldn't look at me. Kyle stared at his plate like it had personally wronged him. After dessert, I found Maddox in the hallway, 7 years old, looking at family photos on the wall. Hey, buddy. I crouched down. Having fun? He shook his head. Mom and Dad are mad at you. I know. They said you took something that was ours. I looked at this boy. My grandson. Eleanor's eyes. Maddox, do you know what I do? What I did for work? You build things. That's right. I build things. And sometimes, when you make something beautiful, people don't see it. They only see what they can get from it. He frowned. Like when I drew a picture for Dad and he said it was nice but then threw it away? Something tightened in my chest. Yeah, buddy. Exactly like that. Kyle appeared behind us. Maddox, go to your mom. The boy left. Kyle stepped closer. You're really not going to do the right thing, are you? Define right. Give us the money. You don't need it. You're 68. You have your pension, Social Security. I have what I earned. You earned it by stealing from your own son. I built a house with my hands. You called it worthless. Now it's valuable and suddenly you're interested? His jaw tightened. We're done here. Don't expect to see the kids at Easter. He walked away. Brittany collected the children. They left without saying goodbye. Norman found me on the back porch, staring at nothing. That was rough. It was honest. He sat beside me. You really going to let this destroy the family? Kyle is destroying the family, not me. But you could fix it. Give him some money. Smooth things over. I turned to face my brother. Norman, do you know how long it took me to build that house? He shook his head. 14 months. Every day. Alone. While my son didn't visit once. Not once, Norman. In 14 months of building his dream home, he couldn't be bothered to show up. To help. To even watch. Norman said nothing. And when it was done, he looked at it for 20 minutes. Complained about the floors and left for hot yoga. Then he called it a teardown. Jesus, Raymond, this isn't about money. It's about respect. January brought the coldest winter Tennessee had seen in a decade. Ice storms, power outages. I stayed in my small house in Maryville, the house Eleanor and I had raised Kyle in. The house he'd spent 18 years calling home before he forgot where he came from. Kyle's legal threats continued, then stopped. His attorney withdrew from the case. Apparently, Kyle couldn't afford to pursue it. Brittany started posting on social media. Vague complaints about toxic family members and narcissistic parents. She didn't name me, but mutual friends knew. Some of them called. Most took her side. I wasn't surprised. February 14th, Valentine's Day. I was making dinner when the doorbell rang. Brittany, alone, no makeup, red eyes. Can I come in? I stepped aside. She sat on Eleanor's chair, the one I'd kept exactly where my wife had left it. I need to tell you something, she said, and I need you to listen. I'm listening. Kyle is in trouble. Financially, we're in trouble. I waited. The company he works for is restructuring. He's been demoted, pay cut, significant. That's unfortunate. The Tesla is leased. The apartment costs $3,400 a month. We have credit card debt, a lot of it. So you're here because you need money. She started crying. No, yes, I don't know. We thought the house. We thought if we sold it, we could get out from under this. Start fresh. You thought the house was worthless. I was wrong, she said quietly. I was so wrong. I looked at this woman, my son's wife, mother of my grandchildren. I'd never particularly liked her, but I'd never hated her either. Brittany, I said, do you understand why I'm hurt? She nodded. You built us something beautiful. We didn't see it. You still don't see it. The house isn't the point. The craftsmanship isn't the point. The point is that I gave my son everything I knew how to give, and he rejected it without a second thought. I know. Does he know? She was quiet for a long time. Kyle is proud. He's always been proud. He can't admit when he's wrong. Then we have nothing to discuss. She left. I finished making dinner. Ate alone. March. The surgeon sent me photographs. He'd moved in. His wife had decorated modern furniture against my traditional bones. It looked beautiful. The house is everything we hoped for, he wrote. Thank you for creating something that will last. I printed the photographs, put them on my refrigerator. Kyle's silence continued. Brittany's social media complaints intensified. When family shows you who they really are, believe them. That sort of thing. I stopped checking. April brought spring, dogwoods blooming. I started a new project, woodworking shop in my garage. Custom furniture. Kept my hands busy. The phone rang on April 23rd. Unknown number. Mr. Bassett? This is Kathleen Morris. I'm the principal at Cedar Grove Elementary. Maddox's school. My heart stopped. Is something wrong? No, nothing like that. I'm calling because Maddox wrote something for class. A personal essay. His teacher thought you should see it. An essay? About his grandfather. About what you built. She emailed it to me. I read it 7 times. My Grandpa Raymond, by Maddox Fisher. My grandpa builds things. He built a whole house one time. It took a really long time. He used his hands and tools. My mom said the house wasn't nice, but I think she was wrong. Grandpa showed me pictures, and it looked like a castle. My dad is mad at my grandpa now. They don't talk anymore. I don't understand why. Grandpa never yelled at anyone. He just builds things and makes pot roast. I miss him. I hope he isn't sad. I want to tell him I like the house, even if I never got to live in it. The end. I sat in my kitchen, Eleanor's kitchen, and I cried. For the first time since she died, I cried. May 4th, Maddox's birthday. I sent a card with $100 bill inside. No response. No acknowledgement. May 17th, Presley's dance recital. I found out about it through Patricia, who'd seen it on Brittany's social media. I drove to the school, sat in the back, watched my granddaughter dance. She was beautiful, 5 years old. Eleanor's smile. Brittany saw me after. Her face went through several emotions. Anger, surprise, something softer. You came. She's my granddaughter. Kyle isn't here. He had a work thing. I know. Presley ran over. Grandpa. She hugged my legs. Did you see me? I saw you, sweetheart. You were wonderful. Brittany watched, said nothing. I knelt down, hugged my granddaughter properly. I love you, Presley. I love you too, Grandpa. Are you coming to my house? Not today, sweetheart. Her face fell. Why not? Grown-up stuff, but I'll see you soon. I left before Kyle could arrive. But I'd seen my granddaughter. That was enough. June. The furniture business picked up. Word of mouth. Referrals. Someone wanted a dining table. Someone else wanted a bedroom set. I was building again. Creating. It felt right. Kyle broke the silence on June 14th. Text message. We need to talk. I responded. About what? The money. What about it? I'm in trouble, Dad. Real trouble. I know. Brittany told you? She told me enough. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Can you help us? I stared at the screen for a long time. Meet me tomorrow. The old house. 6 a.m. The old house was my house. The one where Kyle grew up. He'd know what I meant. He arrived at 6:15. Still couldn't be on time. He looked older. Tired. The Tesla was gone. He drove a Corolla now. We sat on the front porch. Same porch where he'd learned to ride a bike. Same steps where Eleanor had kissed him goodbye on his first day of kindergarten. You look tired, I said. I'm tired. What happened to the Tesla? Repossessed. He laughed bitterly, along with my dignity. I didn't say anything. Dad, he started. I messed up. I know I messed up. I should never have called that house a shack. I should never have tried to sue you. I was angry and stupid and scared. Scared of what? Everything. Losing my job. Not providing for my kids. Watching you build something amazing, while I couldn't even keep my family afloat. So instead of asking for help, you attacked me. He nodded. I know. I know how pathetic that sounds. The sun was rising. Orange light through the trees. Same light that had hit the house I'd built. The house he'd rejected. Kyle, do you understand what you did? I was ungrateful. It's more than that. I gave you 14 months of my life. Every morning, every evening, alone, building something that was supposed to matter. And you looked at it for 20 minutes and decided it wasn't good enough. His voice cracked. I was wrong. You didn't just reject a house. You rejected me, my skills, my time, everything I know how to do. He was crying now. I didn't mean, yes, you did. In that moment, you meant it. Your wife meant it. You wanted something shiny and new, something that would impress your neighbors. What I built wasn't good enough for your image. Dad, please. I let the silence stretch. I'm not going to give you the money, I said finally. Not all of it. He looked up. But I'm not going to let my grandchildren suffer either. I'll pay off your credit card debt. One time. That's $47,000 according to what Brittany told me. And I'll set up education funds for Maddox and Presley. Untouchable until they're 18. Dad, this is not a gift. This is a transaction. You will accept it. And in return, you will spend every Saturday for the next year working with me in my shop. Working with you? I'm going to teach you what I know. Woodworking. Craftsmanship, the value of building something with your hands. He stared at me. I haven't worked with my hands since I was 12. Then you'll learn. The summer was hard. Kyle showed up every Saturday. Reluctantly at first, blistered hands, sawdust in his hair. He complained constantly, but he showed up. By August, he could cut a straight line. By September, he could plane a board. By October, he finished his first project. A simple box, walnut with maple inlay. He gave it to Presley for her birthday. She loved it, he told me. Asked if I really made it. You did. He looked at his hands. Calloused now. Changed. No, I didn't. You made it. I just moved the tools. That's how it starts. Thanksgiving. The first family gathering since the Christmas disaster. Norman's house again. Same fireplace, same tensions, but different. Kyle helped me carry in the pies I'd made. Brittany actually spoke to me. The children climbed on my lap and demanded stories. After dinner, Kyle found me on the back porch. Same spot as last year. Dad, I need to tell you something. I waited. The surgeon who bought the house. I looked him up. He posts pictures sometimes. The house looks incredible. It was always incredible. You just couldn't see it. He nodded. I know that now. We stood in silence. The mountains were gray again. Winter coming. I'm building a treehouse for Maddox, I said. In my backyard. Want to help? He smiled. First real smile I'd seen from him in years. Yeah, Dad. I'd like that. December. 1 year since the sale. I stood in my garage workshop, surrounded by tools and sawdust and possibility. My phone buzzed. Photo from Kyle. The treehouse. Finished. Maddox climbing the ladder. Presley waving from the platform. Caption. They love it. Thank you. I didn't respond with words. Just a heart emoji. Eleanor would have laughed at that. Me, sending emojis. The money from the house sale sat mostly untouched. I'd paid Kyle's debts, set up the education funds, donated some to the local Habitat for Humanity chapter. The rest? I was planning a new project. Affordable housing for veterans in East Tennessee. Small homes. Built the right way. Built to last. Maybe Kyle would help, maybe he wouldn't, but I'd keep building either way. Because that's what I do. Some lessons cost more than others. Mine cost my son a house and nearly cost me my family. His cost him a year of Saturdays and most of his pride. But we're talking now. We're building now. Together. That's worth more than $1.15 million. Most days. My life is quieter now. Simpler. The workshop hums with purpose. The grandchildren visit on Sundays. Kyle calls every Wednesday just to talk. Brittany even apologized. Genuine, I think. She started gardening. Gets her hands dirty. Says she finally understands why I build things. I don't know if I forgive her completely. I don't know if I forgive Kyle completely. But I'm trying. Some days are easier than others. Eleanor would have handled this differently. She was the soft one. The peacemaker. I'm just a stubborn old man who knows how to work with wood. But I'm learning that families are like furniture. They need maintenance, care. Sometimes they break, and you have to decide if they're worth repairing. Mine is. The treehouse stands in my backyard. Maddox plays in it every Sunday. I can see it from my kitchen window. It's not perfect. Some of the boards are slightly uneven. The roof has a small leak I need to fix. But it's built with love, with time, with hands that know what they're doing. And this time, everyone knows what it's worth. If you like this story, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions of this story in the comments. To listen to the next story, click on the box on the left. Thank you for watching.